Hello there, international movie fans, and welcome to a new What to Watch video. In What to Watch, we take a look at what's coming in the upcoming month, in this case, on Netflix, Hulu, HBO, Disney+, you name it. We're going to take a look at what's coming and let you know what we think might be worth watching. Each of us makes one pick of what we think, hey, this is super interesting. This is something we really want to see. And what we also would like to know is what you would like to see in the month of May. Let us know already in the comments what you think is worth watching. Then we will now dig into what to watch this May. Don't forget to subscribe if you're not subscribed yet to our channel. You want to stay updated on our watch suggestions, but also trailer reactions and those kind of things. And then we will now take a look at what's coming in May. Guys, April is done. May is coming. New month with new content. There's a lot coming in this month, so I'm curious to know what you picked for May. But I'm also curious to know what you most enjoyed watching in April. What stands out? And you can pick anything, also old stuff. Koen.
Yeah, I think we all three will mention The Serpent because we all watched it and we all loved the show. I was very impressed. I watched recently again 2 shows with the same lead and side actor, also from The Serpent. I watched again The Looming Tower on Amazon, and I watched again the other show with Jeff Daniels, The Newsroom. That he's a news anchor that actually it's really fitting with today's times because it's like it shows how the Republicans, they went crazy and they're even more crazy now because of Trump. And he's a Republican news anchor and he tries to get the people back away from Fox News and more, he tries to be the middle ground for everybody. So it's very interesting and very good actor, that show. And I watched recently that movie, The Stowaway with Anna Kendrick and Toni Collette, and I was impressed, to be honest.
It's getting good reviews. I had my doubts after watching the
watching me too. I thought it's again like Gravity, Interstellar. It's again something, But it's nice.
It was also it gets good critics, but also in your opinion, it was also worth watching.
Yeah, it's not at the same level as Gravity or even Interstellar, of course, is a higher level for me. But the tension and the excitement in the movie, if things are going on, you really are on the edge of your seats. So for that moment on, and the acting itself, and the visuals, and it's very good. But it's missing something. But you have to watch it. No.
Okay. Good recommendation. Sven, for you, what sticked with you in the month of April?
Still, cinemas are not open here, so I really miss going to the cinema and watching a good movie in the cinema again. But beside that feeling, I'm enjoying really watching Zero at the moment, an Italian Netflix series, but it's not finished yet, so I can't choose for this one. I really was impressed by The Serpent. It goes a bit under your skin, this series, and this guy, this character of what was his real name? Exactly, guys. So yeah, that really sticks with me. How he worked, what he did, the cruelty, but also the ambition, the courage, and the stamina from the Dutch diplomat who solved actually this case. So that's Knippenberg. So hero. This is my April hit, The Serpent. Yeah. And you, Bas?
Good. Yeah, I had, if I have to say the hit, it would be Another Round, because I watched it in this month, but it was, of course... we talked about it also in our review already, and it was an Oscar yesterday, so congratulations to Denmark and all Danish viewers with this win.
For Denmark. Yeah, skål.
Exactly.
Skål. Mads Mikkelsen.
So I really enjoyed watching that movie, but beside that, I also started rewatching The X-Files, which I haven't seen for a long time.
Whoa, so, classic!
I love it.
Yes,
I love it.
Yes, it's classic. Still, 30 years later, so that was so surprising to me. 30 years it has been since the X-Files started. Whoa. It's insane.
Is it still spooky?
Whoa.
And it's still spooky, but it's not as spooky anymore as it was. Maybe if you move into later seasons, because I'm now in the first seasons, which is really, when it comes to special effects, a bit so. But it's good. It's good acting. It's good writing. So it's still enjoyable. And the last thing, actually,
I wanted to say something about your background. You changed some details.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah,
Back to the Future, I see.
Back to the Future.
And a book
That's nothing
with
to do
mythology
with it,
or something, no?
Exactly. And sharp eye, Sven, because that's something that has to do with my pick for this today's What to Watch.
All right.
Because what I also watched in the month of April is the first season of the Norwegian series Ragnarok. And that is a hint to what's to come in this What to Watch later.
So it's the Norse mythology that goes back to the future.
Yeah, something like that.
And then also something with Star Wars, I see. So yeah,
that's always there. Back to the Future, I just placed there because, just for no reason specifically, but
no, but
everybody
actually,
loves Marty McFly, so yeah.
Yeah, it's quite a while since I've seen it. I think I would like to rewatch it again. Back to the Future. Yeah,
it's also quite some time since I've seen it. Actually, I have the DVD box, but. Do you also have that you don't so quickly put a DVD in your? I've got a PlayStation.
No.
In that place, it's like since we have streaming, it seems like such an effort to take it out.
I have them all. No, really,
You also have to change the TV to AV1 or so, AV1 and all this stuff.
I just do Netflix. Like lazy fucks we've become.
No, but
complaining about we can't go to the cinema.
I have a Blu-ray box of Band of Brothers, which is better quality than what the HBO the app has. But if I want to watch it, I put it still on HBO because I'm lazy as fuck. Yeah, stupid actually. Why do we pay the price for that? You know, like it looks nice.
Just became an attribute. Okay, guys, what to watch in the month of May? There's lots coming again to the streaming services, mostly streaming services because the cinemas are still mostly closed in our countries. Yeah. So Koen, I want to start it with you. Was it a difficult one for you to pick?
No, but I completely forgot about this one. So that was I had two in mind, one show and one movie. One was a Spanish movie on Netflix. I forgot the name. I completely forgot about this one. So yeah, it wasn't hard.
Okay, well, I'm looking forward to hearing what you picked. I'm gonna give you the stage.
The relationship between a mother and a musician, it's everything. The last thing I wanted to do is disappoint my mother and say, I don't want to go to school anymore.
So what to watch this month? I think there are a lot of cool, nice shows and series, new ones being added. Also, there's a lot of really cool old school movies being added now to Netflix, so go check it out. Depends, of course, what country you live. For me, the main thing I would suggest you guys to watch is a new documentary series made by the one and only Dave Grohl, which maybe you know as the drummer of Nirvana and the frontman of the Foo Fighters and a lot of other bands as well. He's famous, of course, besides playing as a drummer or being the frontman and guitar player from the band. He made Sound City documentary, which is about the famous studio where the songs was recorded. He's like a workaholic. He cannot sit still, so of course Corona time for a guy that cannot tour, cannot play is the perfect moment to explore more things that he did. The series is called From Cradle to the Stage, not From Cradle to the Grave, like maybe you know the sentence. It's actually inspired by his mom, Virginia. The series is based on the book that Dave Grohl wrote together with his mom, Virginia. And the book was pretty big of a hit in America because it told the story of the mother of Dave Grohl, Virginia Grohl. She went and interviewed other famous moms. So the mom, for instance, of Pharrell from NERD. She interviewed Tom Morello's mom. Tom Morello is a guitar player, Rage Against the Machine and Audioslave. She interviews the mom of Jay-Z. And a lot of other huge stars from country to rap to any kind of music you can imagine. The book was quite a big success because Dave Grohl always said in a lot of interviews that the reason why he was allowed to drop out of college and become this huge successful musician that he is because his mom saw in him the drive. And she always supported that drive, and they wanted to find out how it is for the relationship between a mom of a famous musician or artist from any kind of genre, how that works, the relationship. So I haven't read the book because it wasn't available in Romania yet. I hope to buy it maybe when I can fly back to Holland after Corona. The series now is going to star on 6th of May on Paramount Plus, and I first thought I cannot use this tip because you cannot watch it, but apparently you get a free month or free week on this channel because the platform is not even online yet. It's gonna be launched, I think, 1st of May. I've seen only a small teaser and we're gonna review later. We're gonna do a trailer reaction on this channel for the trailer from this. So if you're interested in music, then you know about Dave Grohl. If you know about Dave Grohl and you like Dave Grohl, you know also his other work maybe. He's always good with documentaries, with books, with stories. So if you're interested about the family relationship, the bond that the mom can have, and the way she can support her son or daughter in a way to pursue this dream, which is very hard for parents to think, okay, he's gonna give up on university, on school, on college, and he's gonna try this 1 in a million chance. So if you like all of that, I suggest strongly that you watch this. So From Cradle to the Stage, 6th of May, Paramount Plus.
And I love it with all my heart forever.
It's times like these you learn to love again.
Cool, Koen. From Cradle to the Stage, I have to be very honest with you. When you started your story, I thought, oh no, music documentary about a guy I know nothing about and nothing about music, then nothing about David Grohl. I felt like, what do I have to watch? But then you came with what this is actually about. This is actually about the mothers and the relationship of the sons. I thought, like, hey, this is a universal theme. This sounds actually interesting.
The interesting part is that they wrote the book together, and his mom is a elementary or high school teacher. I think elementary teacher. And the thing is, what Dave Grohl is, he's like, you have to imagine, like, we see nowadays Instagram has been so big, and we know so many famous people that are so filthy rich, and you even think why? Like, people get rich just by having a big butt, literally. Kim Kardashian. Like, let's be honest, it makes no sense. And I'm happy for her that she has the money and whatever she does, like, I don't have any problem with that. But the funny thing for me is seeing a guy like Dave Grohl, he's almost $1 billion rich almost, and he's a down-to-earth guy. He wears Levi's, he wears racked up Vans. He doesn't care about money. He cares about music, and his main passion now is to make young people to fall in love with music, for instance. And the cool thing is with his mom, that he always told the story, my mom worked her ass off. She was a single mom, worked 2 or 3 jobs, and she was, imagine, an elementary school teacher that sees in her son, okay, I don't want him to drop out of school, because especially as a mom, you never want that, especially if you're a teacher as well. But she realized this guy has the drive, so I have to support him. And that's the story, because I saw his interviews with them, Jay Leno and Colbert and whatever. And that's the story that also goes, she found herself being so close with the mom of Jay-Z or the mom of Tom Morello, other huge stars. And there is something there that they discovered after talks, and that's why they wrote the book. And the book apparently is a big hit. I haven't read it, unfortunately, and now they make a show out of it. So yeah, I'm very curious.
And
Sounds cool.
and the one who wrote the book that was not clear for me.
His mom, Virginia the girl.
Oh wow,
yeah,
cool.
So you remember the song Virginia from the Foo Fighters? That's about his mom, I think, because it's the same name,
Yeah. He was referring to his mother, that his mother didn't have a lot of money to raise him as a child, but she provided him warm food every day and a warm meal, and that he was happy, that he learned really to work hard. And every time he's performing on stage, he thinks about his mother, or if he sees his mother in the Tribune, and he said, if I'm not working hard today, I don't respect my mother. So he's always giving this this drive to on stage, and I think that's also really cool. Yeah,
exactly. And the main thing to add is he phrased it differently. Even he said, like, so she wanted to go on. Old people in America, they have a thing of they want to go on fancy cruises, right? So if you work hard enough, you can one day maybe go on a cruise with your husband or your wife. And he said, no, I don't want you to go on a cruise. You go with me on a cruise because I have a tour bus, which is also a cruise, So then he took her, and he said exactly what Sven said, but he said also, like, every night I'm playing and they make 1.52 million a show, but he realizes it doesn't matter how much I make, because I look at her and I realize she comes from nothing, Like I look at her and I realize that I have the best and luckiest job in the world, so I have to give it everything, And Sven and I went to see them, I think 2-3 years ago, and you have to imagine these guys are 50 something, and they, especially for a drummer or a singer, because a singer has to sing non-stop and shout, especially Dave Grohl, and the drummer also, they play with so much energy. They played 3 hours without a real break. I cannot do that, and I'm 31. No. Like, come on. Yeah, so I.
And then for a crowd of 50,000 people, and you do that like the whole,
crazy.
Like for 3 months in a row with traveling, it's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, it's nuts. Yeah. So
a lot of respect.
So it's for you, boss, and for people that are not so familiar with Dave Grohl or with this kind of music. Maybe the cool thing is about all kind of facets of movie, every kind of music, every kind of style apparently, which is nice and interesting. And the bond between the mom and the son or daughter is apparently like the main point of this series. Exactly. So it's very interesting, I think.
Yeah. Cool. Sounds good. A good tip. When was it coming, you said?
6th of May on Paramount Plus.
Good tip, Koen. Sven, let's take it to you. The next What to Watch, your What to Watch for the month of May. Was it a difficult one?
Calcio, Baggio, il Divin, Codino.
La cosa importante che devi capire. Sei te che determini la tua esistenza. Sei te che determini il tuo futuro.
What to watch for May. I already said it in Italian. It's a film about Italian football legend Roberto Baggio, and it's called Baggio the Divine Ponytail. It's a Netflix biopic of one of the greatest Italian footballers. Why? Baggio is infamously known for having missed a penalty kick in the '94 World Cup in America. Baggio arrived into this competition as one of the top football stars of Europe and the world, to one on whose shoulders lay the pressure of carrying the Italian national team. He failed to score even once in the group stage of the World Cup, but Baggio, however, appeared to turn the situation around with scoring 5 goals in the knockout phase, carrying the Italian team to the World Cup finals. And the film is hopefully showing what's so fascinating about sport. The tragic part of literally one failure that will not only occur losing a World Cup final, but also remain forever in association with his name Baggio. Because most people unfortunately think Roberto Baggio the one who missed this penalty kick. But he's so much more, and I hope this film will pay respect to that. What's it about? The biopic will be a parallel dramatization of the former Italian international's childhood, further through to the rise to stardom. Indeed, Baggio was unstoppable at the peak of his career and went on to win the Ballon d'Or, the Golden Ball, apart from the FIFA Player of the Year from his incredible form in '93. It focused as well on showcasing his 20-year long career, including some key controversies, and one of the key highlights of the movie is believed to revolve around his move from Fiorentina to Juventus, apart from his conflicts with various coaches. Who's involved? Baggio's character will be played by actor Andrea Arcangeli, while the movie is directed by Letizia Lamartine. When it's going to be released? Baggio the Divine Ponytail will be released on May 26, 2 weeks before the Euro will start, on Netflix.
Dove finiscono le mie capacità, inizia la mia fede.
Roberto Baggio, il divino Codino.
Sì, certo, bellissimo.
Bellissimo.
Great, Sven. We already talked about it last month. Of course, we watched the trailer and discussed already a bit on his career. But what is it that fascinates you about Baggio that makes you look forward to this film specifically?
The tragedy. He has a high contrast profile. I think he was really successful as a player in Italy. Played for all the top clubs. Won a lot of titles. Scored a lot of goals. Won also the Golden Ball, the Ballon d'Or. He was really important in the World Cup '94 with scoring important goals, the equalizer, the winning goals to bring Italy to the final. And then as the biggest player of this team, he in the end failed to score this penalty, who can happen to everyone. But if it's happened to such a player or such a moment, it will determine your history, your achievement. I think your legacy even. Yeah. So I think this is almost unbearable to carry. Of course, you find a way to do it, but I think this tragedy has a lot of elements for a good story, I presume.
Is it a bit, in any way, familiar or similar to the story of Seedorf? That, of course, also after had a huge career, but people still...
It's a final.
Yeah, it's a final, of course. Yeah, it's different. Yeah.
And he was not the best player of the world when he came to the World Cup.
Not then, but later he became maybe the best,
Yeah, I think Seedorf has also a beautiful story, but that's not really...
it's not so tragic with the final penalty,
No. Different.
Is this, Sven, what I'm wondering about? You got your wife is half Italian, of course. You go quite often to Italy and you meet family there. I can imagine that's also why you have a bit more connection to Italy. But is there something specific that connects you to Italy already before you met your wife?
No, actually not right away, I would say.
You had more with South America, no?
Yeah, Brazil and stuff. Yeah,
exactly. I was in love with South America beforehand, but Italy has some South American elements, I would say.
Yeah.
The mafia, the ghettos, the high contrast in society.
You're really naming the great 5 things.
Yeah, you named the great stuff. Yeah. If your family is watching, you should watch out.
Woman, food, culture. Also that stuff.
He finds tomorrow a dead horse in his bed.
I think cultures are interesting when they have contrasts. So
or extremes,
when extremes, and that. But when we talk about my family-in-law, the brother of my wife is a big fan of Roberto Baggio. He has still a poster in his childhood room at his adult's house, and. Cool. I remember a story. I think the posters with the ponytail. My brother-in-law doesn't have one, but.
No, not such a fan, exactly.
But I remember an anecdote. My wife told me once about the '94 World Cup that he was crying afterwards the penalty shootout that his big hero, the big star of the tournament, in the end failed, and that also. The love for football died a little bit. I talked also with him about it. He can't cheer for Messi, although he's maybe a better player. But it happened there, and I think maybe it died a bit in himself too. But that now I'm filling in for him. Maybe he can we can invite him and then we can review the movie with him because he could be the specialist.
That sounds also more like if you would hear that from a Dutch person that he died a bit inside, it sounds very dramatic for a Dutch person, but that's also maybe a bit cultural. Why this also became so big in Italy, and more than just an event, it became something that goes beyond people more or less because it's the cultural decided, like you said.
Yeah, and I can also rely a bit with it because I had it a bit with the 2000 Euros, the Euro Cup in 2000 when it was hosted in the Netherlands and Belgium, and then the Dutch team lost even against Italy with penalties. Although they were the high favorites and they had a great generation, the Netherlands. I remember I was crying as well, and I also I don't know.
Really?
Yeah,
I don't think I ever cried for a football match.
Even like when Ajax lost, but not for the Dutch team.
Yeah, when Ajax lost the second
the World Cup final, maybe
final.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I was very upset, and I'm always like super angry during a match, but crying, no, we don't ever for sports so easily, no.
One thing that I was thinking about, Sven, I think you wanted to make one, so you went looking into it, even maybe for your work as a sports journalist, like the Bones of Carinthia or something, was it?
Yes, I was working with a correspondent in Brazil, Nina Jurna, the Dutch correspondent for South America, and she lives in Rio de Janeiro. And I made twice actually, a series with her for Dutch television. And she discovered that the bones of Carinthia were disappeared. Like they reorganized some graveyards. And then in the end, like nobody knew anymore where he was buried. So, and that's just a god of Brazilian football. After Pelé comes Carinthia. So, more or less, okay, take it a bit easy, all the fans on the internet, but to give an indication for people who don't know anything about football, Carinthia is an icon in Brazil, let's say it like this.
But that made me think, because it popped up in my head for, those holy bones of Carinthia, more or less, like we're talking here about the holy ponytail. Is the ponytail still out there? Is it saved by someone and laying in a little cabinet or...
Good story, because I remember he didn't have it in the World Cup of '98 anymore. So maybe, but I'm not sure about this story. I can only speculate about it, and if people know, please react on it. But maybe he took it down after the World Cup. He wanted to cut away something from himself. To leave that behind. That's what I can speculate, but that would be a great symbolic action. But I don't know. Maybe it's somewhere in the football museum in Rome. Tell us.
Maybe it goes. Maybe it'll be in the movie. Maybe that's how the movie ends. Like to cut away his trauma, where it goes to Divine Ponytail, and
it's laying in the Vatican somewhere locked away, in the archives.
Throw in the Mediterranean Sea.
We have to call in Tom Hanks to find it. It's Robert Langdon.
And search for the Ponytail of Roberto Baccio.
Exactly, Dan Brown, news book. Yeah.
Okay, Sven, the Divine Ponytail. It's coming to Netflix on
May 26th.
May 26th. We keep an eye on it. We will review it later on our channel.
What is yours? Give us yours.
Yeah. I already introduced it a little bit, of course, in the intro of this video. It's connected to Norse mythology, but I will tell you more in my What to Watch. So the thing that I will definitely watch in the month of May is a Norwegian series. And the second season of this Norwegian series is coming to Netflix. You might have already guessed it if you're watching this video. It is the Norwegian series Ragnarok. Why will I watch it? Well, for starters, because I was very late in the game and only started watching this series like some weeks ago. And I binged it right away because I wanted to be up to date on it. And because I did already hear quite some things about it last year, but I just didn't start watching it. Now I did watch it, and I have to say I was really enjoyed by it. I love Norse mythology myself. You can see it here in the background. I have a book on Norse mythology. I have several books actually on Norse mythology, so that's something that I'm really interested in. And this series plays into Norse mythology. Besides my personal preferences, what might also convince you to watch this is that it is ranked very high in Netflix most watched shows of 2020. It scores very well on Rotten Tomatoes. And the trailer for this first season got watched 5.6 million times, which is a very high number for especially a non-English production. So that's why Ragnarok is on my watch list for May. What is this series actually about? Well, for the people that didn't see anything from Ragnarok yet, first a short introduction. Be aware of minor spoilers for the first season. To sum it up, Ragnarok takes place in the fictional Norwegian town of Edda, which is plagued by climate change and industrial pollution caused by the factories owned by the local Jotun family. What the town doesn't know is that the Jotun family are actually frost giants and giantess that pose as a family in Edda, the Jotun, for the people that know a bit Norse mythology. Everything changes for them when teenage boy Magne arrives in the town together with his mother and brother. A teenage boy who rather quickly finds out that he is the embodiment of the Norse god Thor. So what can we expect in the second season is still unknown, not much known yet. There's also still no trailer, but we expect it to come very quickly. So then we, of course, will react also to it on our channel. I try to keep it spoiler free, but what we do know is that the first season ended in an epic fight. And we are not completely sure about the fate of some of those that were involved in the fight. We might assume, and this is not really a spoiler, I would guess, we might assume that the brother of Magne could also play a very important role in the second season of Ragnarok, because it is being hinted, and also a lot of speculation on it. And also when I watched this series, I thought right away, well, this guy must become Loki. So that's what we might expect, that the brother of Magne becomes Loki. So who is involved in this series? The cast mostly consists of young Norwegian actors, mostly unknown for international audiences, with David Stakston playing the lead role of Magnus Sire, Herman Tomeras playing Fjord, and Emma Bones playing Gree. Most known actors in the first season of Ragnarok are probably the Icelandic actor Gisli Orm Jardason, who starred in international productions like Beowulf and Prince of Persia, and Synnøve Makkeri Lund, who starred in The Girl in the Spider's Web. The series is written by Simon Alsvik, who is most known for directing the Norwegian hit series Lilyhammer and the crime series Fallet. So when can we see the second season of Ragnarok? Netflix recently announced the air date for the second season. It will be airing May 27th on Netflix. It is not known yet of how many episodes it will consist. The first season was 6 episodes of each 45 minutes, so we might expect that it will be something in that region, but it's not announced yet. All we know now, May 27th is Ragnarok on Netflix. I will watch it for sure. Are you with me?
Heltens reise har begynt.
Nice. Ragnarok.
Ragnarok, yes. I don't know if you guys have anything with Norse mythology, know anything about Norse mythology or not.
No.
I used to... No? Nothing?
No, yeah, I know the Hans Christian Andersen, but that's fairy tale writer.
Folklore.
I don't know if it... Yeah,
it's more
different.
Danish folklore. Yeah. We know, of course, that a lot of the Marvel movies, but I think you haven't seen those really either, Sven. But we have the Marvel movies where we also have Thor and Loki. Of course, that also just comes from Norse mythology. Yeah. And it's I find it extra funny because, as you know, I'm writing a book myself. And this story is changing a lot over time. But when I started, it was actually quite close to the story what this one
really?
is about.
That's cool.
So I'm happy I moved it into.
Yeah, exactly. Like you didn't stay on the same course. Yeah, nice.
Exactly. But I was also playing around with putting Norse mythology into real life setting, so to say. So that was it's something I like. Yeah.
So the first season came out in 2020, right?
Yeah, January 31st, 2020.
And how many episodes are there?
Those were 6 episodes of 45 minutes, which was kind of good length for my sake. 6 episodes, quite good. It takes place in this small town in the Norwegian fjord, so to say. Really nice scenery, and it's not a. I wouldn't say it's a masterpiece. But it's very enjoyable. I think the acting is good enough. Sometimes the writing is a bit convenient, as you know that I sometimes nag about a bit. But I really like the write, and especially if you're a bit into mythology and the gods and those kind of things, the heathen gods, so to say. So
you said it's also with Thor and Loki, maybe then, like you said that the guy will maybe end up to be Loki in the end. Is Odin also? Because I didn't. Is Odin also somewhere in the story or not?
Well, this series starts with them. The first episode, you see this family arriving in this small town of Edda, and Edda is also a name for people that know Norse mythology. A lot of the stories from Norse mythology come from the Edda Poetic by Snorri Sturluson. And so they named this after the book that a lot of stories came from. Yeah. But they arrive in the city, and then he meets an old lady and an old man. First, the old man on the middle of the street, and the old man, he wears an eye patch. The old man is called Wotan, and Wotan is the Germanic name of Odin. So. Probably that's Odin somehow, but I'm not sure how they relate everything very well to each other, or they just loosely base things and pick a bit here and there, so to say.
That's nice. My father always used to. When I was young, I was always scared of thunderstorms. And my father always used to say that it was like the god of thunder, and it was actually the god of thunder was Thor, and he was a drummer. You know, he had this really big drum kit, and he was just playing and having fun. You know. That's good.
Well, the Norse mythology is, of course, of a big influence, especially also in Dutch culture. Actually, like most of the names of our days come from the Norse gods. Like we got Thursday comes from Thor, actually Thor's day. Wednesday comes from Odin, Wotan, Woden's day.
Nice.
Friday comes from Freya. It comes all from Norse mythology. The names of our days. So it's very much in our culture also still.
Yeah, I also heard if you check back the birth of the Netherlands, how it is now, and if you check back a bit, of course, from what kind of clans or whatever, like group of people we came from, it has a lot also the Vikings and these countries also, they have a lot of blood that came somehow in our country and is still in us somehow, so it's nice.
It's very interesting history. I really like.
Exactly. Nice.
I really like to dig into those kind of things, especially now that I live here, of course, in like even more into Norse mythology, but also, like you said, Sven, like folklore. There's also a lot of folklore here in the country, which we don't have so much in Netherlands. That's what I sometimes miss a bit in the Netherlands. We're the take it easy people, so to say. Nothing too weird.
Keep it normal.
It's missing a bit of Dutch culture, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, the Icelandic people also have it, of course, with the elves or stuff. No, they have in Iceland. They
exactly.
have
Yeah,
stories.
and that's what they also have here. Of course, Lord of the Rings is for a large part what Tolkien based his stories on. Is also on Norse mythology. He took a lot from Norse mythology and folklore.
And of course, the First World War.
Yeah, exactly. But the combination of things, of course. But like
course,
Middle Earth, the hobbits, and the hobbits come from the Tomtes, and you have the elves and the giants.
Exactly. Yeah, that's to make. Yeah, nice.
Wow,
so it's quite
cool,
quite fun. Yeah.
Cool.
So yeah, no, definitely on my watch list for.
When is it? May 26th, you said.
May 27th, so it's 1 day after Spence.
But just 26th,
our watch peak is at the end of this month.
At the end of the month.
Yeah. Nice. Sounds
all
good.
Right.
Interesting. Yeah.
All right, guys. This is, I think we come to an end. This is our watch suggestions for the month of May. For the people watching, let us know what you definitely will watch in the month of May. Something that you think like, why didn't you guys take this into this video? Let us know in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel if you're not subscribed yet and you want to stay updated on everything from the Nordics or music stuff. Or Italian stuff about ponytails, or
Divine
Star Wars,
or
Top
flying
Gun.
Top Gun.
Exactly. Doom. Those kind of things. Okay, guys, it was my pleasure talking to you again. It was my pleasure having you in our video again, and see you at the next one. Hey, do.
Ciao. Hey, do. Bye bye.